Thor's pie involves cooking a Thor's hammer. This has become like a real sort of trendy cut in the barbecue world. I've never cooked one before. Essentially, this is like a big lamb shank, all right? But obviously it's not lamb, it's beef. So it's French trimmed, so you've got this like sexy bone sticking out the top. This is just shin. Now, shin is a classic slow cook cut. It takes on a lot of flavour, well, a lot of smoky flavour, because obviously you can leave it in the grill for hours and hours and hours. So we're just going to leave that to cook along all day in some smoke. So we're going to use the supercharged SPG, salt, pepper, garlic from Angus & Oink as a rub. Real basic, but we just want to get the amazing sort of smoky flavour into that. Then it's going to go into a pot with a whole load of stock and veggies. We're going to cook it down even more, top it with cheesy mashed potato, and happy days. We've got Thor's pie, which is like a version of a cottage pie, only got a Thor's hammer in the middle of it. It's been a long time coming. Every man and his dog's been cooking one of these. I'm the last one on the block, but I reckon mine's going to be the best. So SPG in the barbecue world is salt, pepper, garlic. This is supercharged SPG, so just means really it's got added celery salt, it's got a little bit of nutmeg, vinegar powder, and a bit of MSG, which I'm never against. But all those flavours are going to go so well in what would normally be a cottage pie, but this is Thor's pie. Just going to rub it up off the board now. You don't want to waste your rub. So anything that's left on the board, just going to pack on there. A bit on the top that I missed, just around this bone here. Get every last inch of this beautiful piece of Dexter covered in seasoning. Beautiful. Let's go. So finally, now we're all rubbed up and ready to go. The last thing we need to do is just drop in the meter probe. Going to go right down the inside of the bone with that one. Just here. There we go, to the thickest part. And when the meter tells us this is cooked to 70 degrees, that's the point where we're going to drop it into the ragu kind of like sauce that we're going to make, and then it will finish braising after it hits 70. But the longer we can keep it in that smoke, low and slow, the more flavour we're going to get packed into this. So the meter's going to tell us just when is the right time to do that, and then we're going to leave it running right through until it says it's hit sort of 95 plus, so that we know when we're going to pull that bone out, it's all going to fall apart and be super tender and delicious, melt in your mouth. Beautiful beef. Go with these whiskey barrel chunks made of oak, soaked in whiskey. Deflectors in, grills on, Thor's hammer on. Obviously we just created a lot of sort of blockages to the airflow from top to bottom here. So now I'm going to open up these vents a little bit just so we can sort of dial in the temperatures. We want to be cooking this probably around about 130, 140 C. I don't think it needs to be any lower than that. I haven't got time for that today. I want to eat this today. We're going to cook it almost hot and fast, sort of like what I think 140, especially as because it's going to go into all the liquid at the end. It's going to mean that it's going to braise anyway, so you don't have to cook it as low and slow as you might with like a brisket or something like this. So yeah, 130, 140, I'm happy with that. As soon as it hits 70, go into the pot and we're away. Happy days, I can't wait, man. Smells amazing already. I can smell the whiskey in the air. That's good. Beef, roast, shank, fall apart, start the cook. Most supermarkets, you can get a pack of stew stuff like this for a couple of quid at the moment. Real easy. It's all there for you. You know, everyone's seen these stew packs. Yeah, I use them too. It's great. We've got some garlic, we've got a swede, we've got parsnip, we've got some onion. It's so warming and hearty, man, I'm telling you. Right, we've got this where we need it to be. Built up an amazing bark. It's hitting 80 degrees in the middle, so it's still got a little way to go. I don't want it to dry out anymore now. It's got more smoke than it could possibly get into it by being on this grill. It's been on for around about 3 hours now. What we're going to do is get ready to move it into this pot. Going to go in with some oil. Veg goes into the pan. We're going to let that sweat down for another 5-10 minutes whilst we go and get our potatoes ready. So I take some baking potatoes and just dump them all over the foil, load of oil and salt, and then just use that sheet of foil kind of as your plate to cover them in oil and wrap them up individually, and then we're going to get them straight onto the grill. Those are sweating down nicely. We'll have a look at this. There we go, just translucent soft. We haven't got any caramelization, you don't want that. We've just sweated down those onions, the garlic. That's ready for stage 2, which is a third of a bottle of red wine. Then we're going to go in with some chopped tomatoes, some dried thyme, a couple of bay leaves, a pint of ready-made gravy. You could use old gravy, you can make your own gravy, you can use whatever you want, right? I'm not going to judge you, but this stuff is pretty good from Dine. Then all we need to do is add our Thors hammer to the mix, work it right into the bottom. So we're just going to top it with water. Give it a loose little kind of lid. And then get the potatoes on. The lid back down. Right, me is saying it's done. It's been 7 hours nearly. There we go, look at that. Beautiful. Oh, I can see that meat just wobbling away. Oh, look at that. All the stuff that we put in there is cooked right down. It's time to get this inside. So you need to get in there now, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, that's been cooking down all day. You can see how soft this beef is. It's going to fall apart with a fork in any second. Oh. There we go. Oof. Yes. Now we're just going to pull that meat apart in that sauce. Mix it all together to make the most insane cottage pie you've ever had in your life. My dear Lord, look at that. Just so it's not going to kill anyone, you know. Make sure. That's what you need in the winter. Trust me, man. Oh, that has been worth waiting for all day. Shit the bed, we're not even finished. I've got our spuds here. We wrap those up. They went in like 3-4 hours ago. I mean, don't bear in mind we're cooking at 140 degrees. It's not as hot as your oven. These baked potatoes. Woo! Hot potato is real. It's a real thing. Oh, because it's been cooked so slowly. Just look at that. It's like butter. It's so soft. Peel the good stuff out. Leave that behind. Put that in a hot oven with a bit of oil, and you got potato skins that you can load. So don't waste the skins, you know. Just gonna loosely potato rice these baked potato, well, this baked potato filling all over the top of our pie. So you just squeeze and kind of let it just rain. Let it rain potato all over that pie. Okay, we're halfway there. I've done 2 of the potatoes, and we're going to go in for some cheese. Just because you've got to have cheese with your mashed potato. And then another one on top. Oh, final potato. Or potatoes, I think there's 2 here together. Final bit of seasoning. Can't have mashed potato without butter, man. It's just not allowed. Just going to dash those on. Let them melt through. Cheese to finish. And that's going to go straight back in the oven. But first I'm going to make a little one of these for my daughter, because she probably won't eat this because she's a fussy little bugger. But she will eat a loaded potato skin, I can tell you that. So I'm just going to scrape it out. We'll put that into the masher. Just going to press that in to the skin again. Great for kids, these. Beautiful. And then we're going to put the last little scraps of cheese on the top of there. She's only 4, she won't want a lot. She'll moan if it's covered in cheese. She moans about most things, but she'll like this, I'm sure. So I've got those 2 little potato skins there. And just the tiniest little bit of cheese on top. Just using up these last little scraps. Happy days. They can just go on the grill. Okay, so whilst I was in there sorting that out, what I did was open the vents up fully on the Kamado, so it's raging hot, and I didn't even close it, look. So getting loads of heat in there, still indirect, but it's now 200 degrees, so that should easily be enough to make sure that this kind of melts and gets browned on the top. And I'm just going to drop the kids' little treats in there too, on the one side, and in we go. 10-15 minutes, that should be ready. Okay, it's been out in here for another half hour or so now, and that looks to me like it's ready to serve. Right, here we go then. Oh, blimey. Look at that. Dear me. There we go. Beautiful winter veg. What more do you need than that? Beef shin cottage pie, Thors pie, cavolo nero, smoky cheese, beautiful, beautiful beef. All that rich red wine gravy, all the herbs, all those veggies that went in there. It's like a hug. This is like a hug. Beautiful. This is what you want inside you right now. January. Fuck January. Eat some tasty shit. Enjoy yourselves. Don't need to say anything, do I? So good. Sorry, you caught me, man. Still eating it.